like this.
Warszawa! Warsaw! Warsaw! Last stop, Warsaw. Time to wake up.
It's clouding over.
The weather is like my mood.
Aside from the circumstances of the funeral bringing you back, you hadn't thought of ever returning here?
I hate this city. It always makes me think of the stench of vodka, sweat, and urine. Corruption, poverty, and trust me, no justice but street justice.
I'm sure something must have changed since you left.
But probably not for the better.
What about the people? Those close to you? You'll never miss them?
I definitely didn't expect I'd be coming to my father's funeral so early.
I've noticed you two had certain differences in your views on life.
Yes, especially on my life. But admittedly, that's not a very exciting discovery. Is that all you've learned about me on our journey?
You drool in your sleep. Anything in there about Warsaw?
Workers are striking. They want to take advantage of the Tsar's visit to Warsaw. The protests are being violently suppressed. Last week, around a dozen people were killed. Polish Socialist Party militants attacked a train. They stole money, bonds, and explosive materials. They're also suspected of robbing a transport of Dutch pomade. The socialists in Warsaw must look pretty sharp then. Further along, we've got murders, muggings, and poverty.
The newspapers feed on sensation. Remember that in darkness, even a small spark can be seen clearly. Even I can feel hope from all the people riding with us. Can't you?
That would be so funny. Go back to reading all the bad headlines.
Even without my powers, I can tell that hope is bringing people here from all three partitions. Miners, steelworkers, governesses, maids, speculators, thieves. I've gotten to read a few of our fellow passengers' possessions, and I know that hope can have many faces.
Will you share that knowledge with me?
There's a terrified woman riding with us. She's either running away or in hiding. I think that gentleman is smuggling something, because excitement is all mixed up with guilt inside them. And this dandy, he's going whoring.
If there's something I've learned in life, Victor, it's never to neglect the horse.
Warsaw, end of the line. Welcome to Warsaw.
I think the time's come to ask where you plan to stay.
I'll let you know when I come up with something.
What was that? Alright, hopefully you guys just saw that cutscene. and we're gonna go back into it now. Hopefully I edited it up so that you could see. And this is where we left off last time. Go to your father's funeral at Pulaski Cemetery.
When people unite, empires fall.
Okay. Cabbies have such a nerve to charge this much for a fare. The bloodsuckers, arise, wretched of the earth. Arise. Soul leveling? No? Okay, alright. A city that does not forget. Act 1.
Why such a crowd?
The circus has come to town.
These are troubled times.
Tsar
Brothers
Nicholas.
turn against brothers.
Nikolai.
Russia has had enough bloodshed.
Look at the fit.
The violence must stop. When socialists attempt to divide Russia and her subject nations, to dent the sword that smote the enemy at Grunwald, this demands my decisive action. Thus, by my grace, I hereby appoint as Governor General of Warsaw, Georgi Antonovich Skowon.
A butcher.
Not a popular guy, I presume.
I see you ain't from here.
Technically I am.
That swine keeps a photo album of all the folks he's had shot at the Citadel.
Oh boy.
Before and after execution.
Wow.
Warsaw! The time for leniency and indulgence is over.
I love this voice
From
actor.
the moment this office is bestowed on me, no forces hostile to the subjects of Greater Russia will have any further right to exist. None! Whether it be brutal socialist subversives, communists, Jews, or other satanic provocateurs.
Wow.
Sure knows how to unite a crowd.
Pardon me. Are you Polish?
Keep it low key.
I was born in Warsaw, but I'm lapsed. My name's Victor.
Wanda.
This is Russia here. Like it or not. Warsaw. Время террора закончилось.
Иди нахуй!
My first decision as Governor General of Warsaw.
He's gonna kill that guy.
Arrestovать.
Arrested.
Great heroes in their sense of timing. Of course, now they're the first ones in the fight.
Samobladanie, Polyaki. We want that rebel. The Loudmouth.
Damn.
What happened?
Be a gentleman. Please kneel and tie my shoe.
I don't see the point in all that.
I didn't dare suggest it myself.
Can I ask you a tiny favor?
There's no
The
laces.
Russians can't find out about this. The military is just looking for an excuse to suppress the crowd, and these workers are dreaming of thrashing a Russian gendarme.
Either one of you confesses to disturbing the peace, or всех забирай. We'll take you all in.
You can't handle all of us.
Can you get us out of here?
I can just straight up leave.
I think I'm open to any kind of suggestion.
With a book like that, I'd find out what would convince one of these bastards to let us go. Or I'd take on that self-appointed leader of the proletariat.
Interesting strategy. Who are you, really?
A damsel in distress.
Those don't usually hide ammunition in their stockings.
Can I explain it to you another time?
For instance, I could disclose to a soldier that you came here with ammunition under your skirt.
Maybe we should see who they believe. A respected lady of Warsaw, or a common magician who just 100 years ago would have been burned at the stake.
Well, since you asked so nicely, I'm going to take a look around.
Oh, so it's not what I thought. Alright, let's try talking to this guy.
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to face bullets and bayonets?
What do you want then? My whole life on my knees? Kissing Ruski's ass?
Do you realize blood is about to be spilled? And that it might be mine?
Fuck off!
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to...
What do you... My... If you don't want to fight, then hide when they start shooting.
Is that the thing, right? Let's try talking to these guys. Corporal!
Pardon me, gentlemen.
The crowd has received the order. For now, zero response.
We'll give them a moment. To arrest them all, book them, interrogate them. Gospodи will be home in November.
Gentlemen, please forgive me. Maybe there's a faster way to get this situation resolved.
Back off, Polyak, or we'll start shooting. Paniatno? Scrum! Dawaj.
Alright, so maybe we can search around. Let's see. Pistol bullets. Bullets that fell from the end of the woman's dress, scattered on the pavement. Small bullets carry big emotions. Hope, because they're meant to benefit the cause. Fear, which in these difficult times makes it its way to even the hardiest of hearts. And determination, the companion of courage without which it would be impossible to face reality. Each bullet was hidden in the nooks and crannies of the undergarments with care and precision, just like the previous time and the time before that. This is nothing new for the person who took the risk. Okay. Police barrier. Police barrier meant to help with keeping order during the rally. The seemingly ordinary barrier carries the memory of a hand whose firm grip represents the determination of the one who controls it. It was the gendarme commander who set up the barrier, carrying in his heart a desire to return to the warmth of his home. All he needed was a scapegoat. The sergeant wants to call it a day and go home as fast as possible. A manhunt entails a lot of work that he'd rather avoid. With a little nudge, he might settle for taking in the agitators and letting the rest go. The workers' leader is perfect for the role. Okay. Oh. Oh, we can manipulate. Oh. Let's give that a try.
The corporal tell you we're going to shoot?
Hand Wanda over? No.
Dostateczno. Should we go in and capture the worker who's mouthing off and let the rest go?
Da, Sierżant. We can use anyone as an example.
Szagom marsz!
Goodbye.
You're welcome.
I wanted to thank you at our next meeting. We could use someone like you.
We? Meaning the people you were carrying ammunition for and who got you Dutch pomade for your hair?
You haven't just got pretty eyes, you know how to use them. Maybe you'll find time one day for some jam donuts at Burke Rotblitz's.
Not really a jelly donut kind of guy. Fearless Wanda, the smuggler of bullets, proposed a meeting at Burke Rotblitz's. Wanda, the woman I met during the kettling incident, was smuggling bullets in the nooks and crannies of our undergarments. Clearly, it wasn't the first time she'd done that. Unfortunately, this time the garter didn't hold and the bullets fell into the pavement. Maybe fate will have us cross paths again, and we'll meet at Burke Rotblitz for jam donuts. Okay, we're heading to the funeral. Check something real quick. Okay. There's no way Dad died, bro. Shady guy, okay.
Excuse me, what's going on here?
They're burying Satan in sacred ground.
Some of those assembled believe it to be sacrilege. Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw courier. What is your opinion, considering the book at your side?
He's a tempermancer. Don't let him through.
Yeah, I don't have time for this.
I'm asking you kindly get out of my way before things get nasty.
Get that heretic with fire and sword.
That guy's got a lot of focus. You can preview both you and your Salutor skills. This will help you plan your attack. Summoning another Salutor. You can summon another Salutor at any time. A green frame around the Salutor's image means they are exceptionally effective in a fight with a given enemy. Read the description above the Salutor to find out why they'll be useful at that moment. Go with those. Yes. Ooh. Ten. What's this do? Equal to 8 for each enemy affected by suffering state. Sounds like it could be good. Let's see what this does. Dude. Enemy reinforcements are on the way? Wow. Oh, wait a minute. Traits. Enemies can have traits that make them immune to your attacks. They're related to the dimensions and they can be disabled. Disabling traits. To disable an enemy's trait, attack them with a salutor that belongs to the same dimension as the trait. Note that if you don't have the required dimension force, you can take away all the opponent's focus and launch a strong attack. Okay. I'm about to get one shot, man. I knew I shouldn't have picked this difficulty. I'm about to get shot. I don't know what to do, and I forgot how to... Wait, what's this? There's gotta be something I can do. Wait, I had a gun? I died! I blame you. I should have done easy mode. I just got wrecked. So I obviously did. Alright. Maybe we have to improve stuff. Might need that. I have none left. Oh, okay. All right, let's try it again. I just did that for nothing. I should have used his attack on the other guy. He's at 12. Alright, so I have a little bit more health than last time, I think. We saw it before. I guess we press ecstasy. Okay. I don't know why my like power and damage goes down. That's not gonna do much. So let's just do the focus, I guess. Oh man. Hopefully this is enough. Come on. Only 10? Oh, but he's done. He's out for the count.
That was so enchanting. Spectacular.
Ugh.
You with a scowl and a puffed out chest, and them dropping like flies in the blink of an eye? Collapsing on their own, becoming delirious? Extraordinary. Can we meet for an interview?
No.
Thank you, but I'm already late.
Let's see real quick. What's this? Okay.
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away?
I don't know.
Was that his cause of death? His heart?
I'm curious myself. I haven't had a chance to find out.
Yes, I understand. My condolences, once again. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
I knew you'd turn up.
I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Stasha loved you in his own way. You look well. Ligia said you found some quack healer.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You don't recognize me, do you? But do you remember who taught you how to shoot starlings?
Uncle Voronin, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I probably wouldn't recognize myself anymore. Go look in on your sister. She's worried. We'll talk at home.
Sister?
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly.
Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late. And we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago.
Wow.
After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better, and definitely closer to the truth.
Dang.
The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 salutors. I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia because she wasn't born a boy. Me because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now... Farewell, Father.
Dang, it's kind of sad.
Am I intruding?
What do you want?
Well, what do people come to funerals for? I came to pay my respects to the dead. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
I don't think so. I intend to leave as soon as I wrap up my family obligations. I doubt we'll have time to meet again.
Who knows? Again, my condolences.
I love when anything stories do stuff like that.
My name's Kanieczkin. Ivan Kanieczkin. Goodbye.
Like foreshadowing and stuff like that. Like, you know, I'm obviously going to meet that guy again. Like, it's going to happen. But
such interesting friends you had.
I believe that's the second time we've seen that.
I guess I'm more tired than I thought.
I still don't know what that means. Go to your family home in northern I'm not even going to try the Shrodmishi? Shrodmishi?
Great-grandmother Josefina, a Thaumaturge.
There is stuff we can see. Unusual note by generic funeral wreaths. Eat dirt, Shulski. Oh wait, no, I missed it. Oh. We had our differences regarding methods, but we shared the same goal. We will carry on. And you rest in peace, brother. Your friends in Thaumaturge. Okay, with a note. A few flowers gathered together on a note. You were closer to me than I could ever admit. And now you're gone. My heart is yearning. S. The simple words contain a sea of sadness and longing. The letter was written with trembling heart that cannot come to terms with the loss. It seems that someone was greatly affected by Father's death. More people than I would have guessed came to say their farewells to Father. It turns out that he had both friends who were clearly affected by his death and enemies who found it exceptionally pleasing. Well, it seems Father evoked extreme emotions in the people he had encountered during his life. That's, I mean, I guess if you think about it, that's a good
Grandpa
thing.
called him a Thaumaturge. I barely remember him.
It's a major mark on life if he did that. Alright. With haste, we must head to the family home. I do have to find out if there's a way to level up health.
The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
We're twins, my dear lady.
The Shulskis reunited. You don't look like a horrid cripple. Why did you leave Warsaw so quickly?
Don't tell her anything. She'll write whatever she wants anyway. And we'd better get going.
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the Citadel.
Are you threatening me, Judge?
I'm actually sparing you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a Thaumaturge? Come on, children. I'm sure my Pietia is already waiting for us at home.
Wholesome uncle.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Of course.
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear.
Another
Let the
babushka.
guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
I like that answer.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again.
She's so
But
wholesome.
that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Green square. Must be leaving, right? Is this green square too? Guarded. Okay. Well. Whatever. Yes, I'm right here. Let's look at this. Father's portrait. The portrait depicts father in his twilight years, the serious expression on his face, the proud posture, and the grimoire in his hand, combined with the dark background and lack of embellishments. It all reflects the strictness and pragmatism he always had. Good old Stanislaw, however, a faint red streak can be seen around his figure. Apparently, artists are particularly sensitive to seeing things that usually escape the human eye. This one should receive double emolument for capturing the Thaumaturge aura. The Warsaw Core Evening Extra. Here's the latest news on the riots, blah blah blah. Moment at Grace Emperor, non-strokes, blah blah blah. Group of troublemakers. Nothing.
I don't want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Well, I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanislav. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
Alright. What else can we uncover? Bust of Marana. The stern, countenance resembles that of a human, but the callous gaze shows no trace of human emotions. The Queen of Winter scrutinizes you, sending a shiver down your spine. It makes me think of the words, if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. No basements for me. Dinner recipes. Capon or pullet with sausages. Liquor recipe. Make sure Uncle gets upstairs sober.
I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stachio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure.
Of course, Uncle. Of course. Oh. Mother's portrait. A portrait of Mother from her youth. She stands proud, wearing a white dress and a silk scarf thrown over her exposed shoulders. Her long dark hair flows down her back, and she glances at the viewer with a piercing smile. Bare skin and a frivolous hairstyle. That's not how I remembered her. Nadia as a young, unkempt maiden. It's hard to believe. The shocking vision of the painter must have been created in a previous era, a time when hearts were stirred with violent emotions. Poems were created to the sound of a storm. Love stories had to end tragically, etc., etc. Father actually commissioned such a painting? Savagnon de Borin. So, okay, so if I move, it might go away. Okay, the bottle exudes the sweet aroma of quince as the sincere joy of upcoming meeting. It's a beverage that brings people together and sweetens the bitterness of everyday life. An element of ritual that two old friends would eagerly indulge in. What else we got over here? What is this?
You will be mine, secret.
Bottle of red wine from the United States. Hard to get. Ha! From Oregon. That's interesting. Let's give this to Uncle.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
Let's just give him the bottle of liquor.
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral bottle. We would meet in Stasha's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasha and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
Of course not, Uncle.
I suppose there's no reason to bear grudges or be angry, is there? Eustacio?
To an easy death.
Familiar faces keep vanishing from my life. Stasio and my Helena before him. I miss my little darling. I miss them both. Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
Come on, Uncle.
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
Yes, let's find out what my father hasn't left.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Shulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen. Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter, Lygia Szulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. The administration of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter Lygia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina.
Dang.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Shulsky, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Shulsky used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did Father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps. In all that confusion?
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
I foresaw a slightly more pleasant end for him, myself. I doubt even he deserved such a horrible death.
Those might be the kindest words you've ever said on the subject of a father.
How typical of his sort of person to keep a portrait in his study of a family that was only a family on canvas. Not long after the painting was done, he got divorced, ruined the Nijitas, and kicked out his son. But there the portrait hangs, as if family meant anything at all.
Dang.
I don't know what exactly happened with Aboritse, but I know that Papa felt guilty. You don't want to forgive him even now that he's gone?
The dead need no forgiving. And as for forgetting, I don't know how. It's just a shame about the grimoire.
What do you intend to do?
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at our, well, my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Aw. Dang. You. Our family portrait, I can remember when it was taken. The year was 1884, and Lygia and I were 9 years old at the time. She was clearly tense, and I remember how Mother admonished her not to smile, not to fidget, and to stand straight. Lygia was to take the cue from her. Mother was able to freeze like a statue and sit there barely breathing for a couple of hours. I, on the other hand, posing nonchalantly, was always more unrestrained than my sister. I could get away with more. Behind us, our father, the head of the family, one hand resting patronizing on the back of the chaise lounge, asserting his ownership, the other holding the grimoire. The black grimoire, behind father, a shadow, as if a shape was emerging and forming, indicating another presence. That's Balbereth. The family is complete. Let's talk to our bro.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check.
It's so funny. Letter. The human heart is worth more than all the riches of the material world. Tonight. SR. I gotta stop doing that. Another suitcase bearing traces of many travels. Grains of desert sands from father's trip to Africa had set in the suitcase. He would set it aside, spinning plans for future voyages into the unknown regions of the material world, searching for what was hidden behind the veil of reality. Representing, wooden mask representing a salutor known as Shirao. The demonic countenance is clothed in the hope that clung to it first and the satisfaction that soon followed. It seemed that father had planned for Shirao, which he eventually managed to fulfill. What's this? Pseudomonarchia. Haha! Demonum. Compared to Crowley's Ars Goetia, there are 3 fewer demons. No evidence that all demons are salutors. Bathoran, a false lead. Puso, a false lead. Anton claims to have subjugated a robos, mere boasting. Marcosius, expected to take on the form of a wolf with the wings of a griffin and the tail of a snake. That's wild. According to Duplancy, he takes the form of a wild lioness. Interesting observation by Crowley. Demons are unexplored fragments of our minds. It's deep. However, in appearance, it resembles an ox with wings. A lead for Sabnok, unknown. There's all kinds of gems in here. Charred letter. My love for you is burning. It keeps me from eating. It keeps me from sleeping. It keeps me from living. Lygia, I am begging you to end my agony. Agree to be my... Oof. Door shut, and I got those scared. Message from mother. Dear child, stop. It is with great sorrow that I have received the news of Stanislav's death. Stop. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the funeral ceremony. Stop. My duties in Paris keep me from traveling to Warsaw at this time. Stop. I join you both in mourning and sorrow. Stop, Mama. I thought that was the mom just like yelling stop, but I think that's like the typewriter thing when they say stop, like as in period. My letter from Paris, November 1896. Sister of mine, I feel well enough to write something to you. The doctor also recommended I do so. I'm not alone in my anguish. I share a room with one Reeford Morton, whose last name escapes me. They brought him from London from Dr. Seward's clinic. A very interesting case. He spends his days hunting for the moths, cockroaches, ladybugs, and beetles that come here sometimes. He eats them. He says it gives him strength to wait for the coming of the Lord. But I don't think he means the Savior. I cannot yet reconstruct all the details after the debacle with Paimon. My mind is still in tatters. Paimon visited me no more than a week ago. I know that's impossible. It probably happened only in my mind because it was so clear. But it was so clear. He, as the king of hell, with his host of demons, with the shadows of his penitents, called for me to join them. It was so real. I'll stop here. I'm having a hard time gathering my thoughts. W, I think for Victor. The Polish Gazette Evening Edition. Obituaries. Blah, 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 blah. Delay Antoni, 91. Delay Barbara Schatze, 45. Stanislaw Szulski, entrepreneur, age 63. My letter from Rome. Dear sister, I'm writing to you because sleep eludes me. As I wrote before, I found a suitable candidate. However, I'm still struggling to reach his flaw. I feel that Paimon is within my reach. I even saw him. Vaguely, but I did. I'll stop here because my nerves prevent me from continuing. W for Victor. P.S. Yes, I'll be careful. Don't think me a fool. Like father. There is so much here. Oh, get changed. I have a wardrobe. No way. Very cool. Serious photo. Straight backs, stern expressions, noses in the air. 2 boys that are just trying to meet everyone's expectations. Something went wrong here. And of course, that makes us think, who's that? Huh? Weaves of arrogance, leather elements counterbalance the classy design, adding a touch of audacity. Even the descriptions of the clothes, man, I mean, that's... I bet there's something up here. Yes. Collection of books on the occult. The titles includes the... Ready? The Pseudo-Monarchia. The Lemigaton and the Pictures. The grimoires of historical occultists brim with paternal inquisitiveness. The worn pages, full of annotations in the margins, bear the marks of frequent reading, his heart beating with excitement. Father explored mysteries of demonology, thus expanding his horizons. Last will. My last will written down in the year of our Lord 1888 in the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen. This is what he was reading to us. I wonder how long they worked on this game. Alright, let's venture back out into the world now. Oh, examine. Bust of siren, sharp avian features bear a wild, disturbing kind of beauty that make you want to fall into her clutches and be lulled into an eternal dream by her sweet song. Yet her cryptic, slight smile makes the subconscious primal part of your being cower away from the predator. But isn't a soul the only fair price for the bliss of giving yourself up to that enchanting creature? I mean, yeah, like, come on, like, who takes the time to, like, dig that deep for a description of something you might not examine?
Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Victor?
Oh, trust me, using a phone for the first time.
Grigori? Yes.
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
How did you know I have a telephone at home?
Something's interrupting you, Victor. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes. 7 Povoskoska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Povoskoska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Good old Rasputin. He is so funny. He always makes me laugh. Wait, so there's more I have to find out in the house? Aha! Oh.
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
The trousers are an original style. Until now, I'd only seen women in trousers in the East.
First of all, they're practical. It's the 20th century. It's high time we started dressing comfortably.
You've always been brave, never afraid of anything or anybody. Like when Mother almost had a fit because you dumped my best tie in hot cocoa.
I didn't care that she was angry. I wanted to get you back for not wanting to play with me.
Because you were being too annoying.
You meant to say brave. By the way, Grażyna still makes cocoa every evening. You can conjure up the flavor of childhood if you want. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yes.
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumyantseva.
Who is she? And what did Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A customer? If you don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the crème de la crème of Warsaw.
What's a soiree?
How long did you say you lived with Mother in Paris? Just a party, if you like. Do you know what that is?
Very funny.
We could go together. How about You track down some evening clothes, and I'll sort out the invitation. And I won't take no for an answer.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at
that a
11
flex?
Prusna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We also have barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and face.
I like the flow, dude. You don't like the hair? The reptilian bash. That's ominous. Okay, this is probably a shorter one. I'm not sure, but I'm going to leave it for there so that when I have ample amount of time to play, we'll get some nice, long, juicy episodes for next time. But I'm going to cut it off there for now. Hope you enjoyed. I feel like the story's finally, like, I really appreciate that they're taking the time to really lay out the setting. Hopefully they just deliver with a long enough story and gameplay to flush everything together. But they're really laying a good foundation, and let's see what happens. Stay tuned.